Tritons against the Dominican College Penguins. The last meeting between these two ball clubs was a routing by UC San Diego of 107-73 over Dominican College. Tonight, different venue because the game is being played here at Marin Catholic High School in Kentfield, home of the Penguins. Might be a difference in the outcome. Hello again, everybody. I'm Tucker Rivers. Tonight's contest features two outstanding teams, both on the offensive end. Joining me at this time, Mike McDowell, Sports Information Director of Dominican College. As the smoke is coming through here, Mike, let's talk about the smoke that's going to happen in tonight's contest. Last game, it was a tough situation for the Penguins. They ran against a Triton trio that was really outstanding through that ball game, and one of the Triton trio is having a homecoming of sorts himself. Since it is homecoming here, I thought I'd bring that point up. Chris Moore, that was a tough situation he put the Penguins in.
Tough. Well, you took the words right out of my mouth, and certainly the roof is on fire here at Freitas Gymnasium. Chris Moore, okay, San Diego, University of California, San Diego. The thing about them is they have three offensive weapons: Chris Moore, and Chris Moore. He can shoot outside, he can shoot inside, and he's just deadly every time he gets the ball. Last time he scored 30 points against Dominican. He was 12 for 14 from the field. So this is the type of guy that really can win a basketball game for you. He is the key to their offense tonight, without a question of a doubt. And if the Penguins can stop him, then they've got an excellent chance to beat this team, because if you can contain him, especially on the perimeter, then you're taking a large part of his game away, and that's what they need to do tonight. Another kid that they need to handle tonight is Andy Swindell. Averages about 9.7 points per game. He's another outstanding guy. He can take it to you in the low post, and Dominican has got they've never beaten this team. The series overall is 8-0. So, to say the least, they've got the work cut out for them. This is homecoming. It's a huge basketball game tonight.
Just like to mention that Chris Moore attended San Rafael High School and was on a squad that won the Marin County Athletic League in basketball. Now let's talk about the Penguins. Dominican College 8-14. They've had a rough season this year, but the seniors would like to take this game out, as you mentioned, 0-8 rather, against UC San Diego. Now, two of those consistent seniors have been Ivory Joe Hunter and Ronell Powell.
Well, Ivory Joe, what can you say? I mean, he came to this program, a transfer from a Division I school, San Jose State. He's averaging right around 21.2 points per game. Explosive, quick to the basket. Every time he gets the ball, watch out, baby, because he's going in. Another guy, Ronell Powell, dynamite. He was named the District 3 NAIA Scheduling Conference Player of the Week. He is a guy who's leading the team in scoring. He's averaging 21.7 points per game. He's another guy that can take it to you both inside and outside. When he gets the ball, he's got to move. He'll put it on you and strong to the hole. So he's in my opinion, he's got to be right up there for the MVP in this team, because he's just been Mr. Consistency. He wants to be an accountant. I call him the number cruncher. So he's dynamite. I like him a lot. He's great. Another kid I got to talk about is Sean Harmon. He was named the NAIA District 3 Player of the Week. He's dynamite by far. This kid can shoot it from outside all night long. If he's hot, he's hot. When he's not, he's not. But Sean Harmon is a name to look out for tonight, because when he's got the ball, watch out.
Now, the Penguins' last outing was against Bethany College, and they had a rough time in that one. They lost that one by a score of 95-81. Now, since we last previewed here on Marin 36 Sports, it was Dominican College against San Francisco State.
Oh, yeah.
The scoring has been mostly Powell and Hunter, ranging about in the 20s. Now, with Harmon coming to effect, when you add Harmon, you get more offense, and they have a better chance of winning. That's a good point there, because they sure need his threes.
Yeah, they do. And not only do they need Sean Harmon, they need a collective effort tonight. They need some guys off the bench to come off, like Maurice Munsell. They call him the madman here. He's a good ball player. He can take it in the low post. Ophir Ogman's another great guy. He's out of Las Vegas. He's a 6'6 senior. He's one of the 6 seniors. And he's another guy. It's kind of weird, because sometimes he'll have these strange games, but I tell you, when Ophir No Fear is on, watch out, because he likes to take it in the low post. He's got a great little hook shot, and he can really do a lot of damage, and most teams don't know about him, so he's hurt a lot of ball clubs this year.
Well, we're about ready to start tonight's contest, and as Steve Smith, the coach of the Penguins, say, let's hook them up and get it rolling. Basketball action coming up next on Marin 36 Sports. The Dominican College Penguins hosting the UC San Diego Tritons. We'll be back right after this.
You clap your arms and your feet start kicking. And you know you're doing the bucket chicken. It's all right. Do the bucket chicken now. 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 Do the bucket chicken now.
We've already said no to drugs. What do know we said yes to?
Computers. I like dancing.
Music.
Hip-hop. Boys. Girls are weird, but don't fight with boys, let me tell you right now.
Different types of sports. I like taking pictures.
My history.
Yeah, I want to go to college.
I like cars. I wanted to be a lawyer because I like helping people out.
Hey, we don't want drugs. Know why? We have better things to do.
For a lot of people with epilepsy, things have changed. More and more people like these are reaching new heights, traveling new roads, swinging for the fences. Treatment of epilepsy has come a long way. Most people now live normal lives. Most people. Some have more difficulty, and they need more help. Call the Epilepsy Foundation of America, 1-800-EFA-1000. Let's not leave anybody out of life.
Welcome back to Freitas Memorial Gym in the campus of Marin Catholic High School. Watching college basketball here on Marin 36 Sports. Right now, the Penguins of Dominican College are being introduced. Quickly, we'll give you a rundown of the starting lineups. First, for San Diego, the Tritons will start with Chris Moore at forward, the former San Rafael High standout. Number 44, that's Andy Swindell, 6'6" senior. They're running a three-guard offense with John Spence, along with Rodney Lusain and Kareem Matthews. For the Penguins, Ivory Joe Hunter and Ronell Powell are the forwards. Afia Argman is at the center. You've got Border and Riggins, who is actually Munsell is going to start in place of Riggins tonight for the 8-4 Penguins, coached by Steve Smith.
Well, Steve Smith, you know, this is a big night for him because they want to erase that 0-8 record. A W would be very nice. The Penguins, by the way, before last night's loss to Bethany, were on a 3-game winning streak. We'll talk about some of those huge wins that they had this season. But you know, you talk about the matchups tonight. Chris Moore and Ronell Powell. I like that one. I think it's going to be a dynamite one. I think that's going to be the key to watch, along with Ivory Joe Hunter and perhaps Andy Swindell. We talked to the coach earlier before the game, and he said they've got to watch, you know, isolate those two guys, Tucker, because that's going to be one of the keys to victory.
We're looking forward for this one to get underway. Jumping center, Spence and Powell. And the Tritons will take over as we begin our action tonight. The Penguins in their home white, black trim. The Tritons in the traveling blue and gold. Start out in a man-to-man situation. Powell is guarding Moore up on top. Nice spin move by Spence. Gets it knocked away by Hunter.
Great block by Ivory Joe. That's what they need to do, is start out quick.
Powell gets up quickly for the layup. The Penguins are up by 2.
Ronell Powell strong to the hole. We talked about it in the pregame. That's what he needs to do all night.
Lusain in control for the Tritons. He gets it inside to Moore. Falls off short. Hunter comes up court for the Penguins. Ivory Joe gets it out to Powell on the baseline for the short jumper. Powell, he's the scoring so far here in the first half.
The number cruncher with 4 already, and that's what they need, and he's got to utilize his offensive mobility tonight.
Lusain out on the left wing gets a nice pass inside to Swindell. No room there. Ogman gets him with the body a little bit. Swindell takes it away from Ogman. Nothing there.
Great rebound by Ogman. Swindell's a big, strong, burly guy, and he can hurt you on the boards. Great play by Ofair.
Powell on the baseline, had his shot altered, picked up by Ogman. Nothing there. Rebound comes off to Lusain for the Tritons. Loses it off his foot. Powell picks up the loose ball. Hunter drives the baseline, creates a shot, but he's going to be called for traveling on the baseline.
Well, Ivory thought he had his bags packed in Mexico on that one, but you see the replay here. Hunter takes it baseline and apparently takes a few too many steps.
Opening minutes of the first half, Dominican up by 4. Swindell goes inside to Moore. Baseline jumper doesn't go down. We got a battle on the boards. Moore with the rebound. Swindell fakes a kick out, and he steps out of bounds.
Steps on the baseline. The Penguins, you know, when they in the past when they played UC San Diego, here's the replay. You see Swindell looking for somebody, and I guess he steps out of bounds with his right foot.
17:55 go first half. Here comes Hunter on a baseline. Nice scoop lay-in.
Ivory Joe, the transfer from San Jose State, showing why he can do what he does. He's dynamite. When he has an open basket, look out. He's tough.
Matthews tied up on the baseline. Foul is going to be called on Borda. First personal, first team foul against Dominican.
You see the bounce pass into Lucene. He's double teamed. Borda climbing all over him in his back. And Borda commits the first personal, first team foul.
Moore takes a hop, gets called for traveling.
Here comes Moore with the ball. Moore tries to put a little spin move, but no steps, baby. It's Dominican's ball.
What a nice pass over to Hunter. Moore gets the rebound on the miss. Moore didn't do a lot of that in San Rafael, a little more controlled. He had too many guys on the outside who could handle the ball a lot better than he. One being former San Rafael high player at USF, Mike Bravelli, and Roger Sweeney, a product of the Los Angeles Dodgers. So those guys took care of the ball. All Moore had to do was dunk all day long. Missed attempt by Matthews, but the ball gets taken away from Borda by Swindell. Oh, Mr. Powell knocks away the shot.
What a block. You know what? You can tell. Look at this. Swindell. Powell comes from behind, knocks it out of bounds. I'm telling you, there's a lot of emotion on this Dominican team right now. They're playing with a lot of intensity. I know UC San Diego has never found themselves down 6-zip.
Spence with a jumper, just shy of the three-point line. Swindell inside, nice rebound. Shot tapped away by Ogman. Moore will control it. Matthews drives the baseline, and he will retain possession as he was fouled on the baseline by Ogman.
You see Matthews taking it baseline right. Ogman is charged with a block. But, you know, before that, he had an awfully nice block. I mean,
16:30 to go in the first half. Dominican leads 6-0. Strong defensive play by the Penguins so far, but the one thing that's happened is that UC San Diego's been able to get second and third shot opportunities. Here's Spence with a short jumper. Breaks the ice for the Tritons.
Well, they finally get on the board, and that's something that they're not accustomed to, Tucker.
Lucene gets the ball for the Tritons as Spence goes in for the Sky Dam.
Great job. You know, Spence is a guy that can do that to you all night long, and Spence averages 16.9, the second leading scorer on this Triton team.
Ogman goes in, can't get the layup to go down. Here comes Lucene for the Tritons. Baseline Spence. Spence has tied it up. A 6-0 run by the Tritons. Here comes Borda. He gets a shot, and it's going to count.
Bill Borda, dynamite off-balance shot. He got the tray, and he's going to get the three-point opportunity here. You see Borda over the timeline, takes it strong to the hole, one-handed, and it is up and it is good, and he has a chance to hit the three-point play when the Penguins go up by 2 now.
Borda shooting almost 55% from the line. Misses his three-point opportunity, but Moore can't handle the rebound and takes it out of bounds. It'll be Penguin ball with a chance to make this a 4-point swing here.
Well, you know, I'll tell you what, maybe it's too early to comment on this, but I think UC San Diego's a little surprised. They're not playing well at all early minutes here. They had a tough ball game against Menlo last night where that one went to overtime. And Dominicans rising to the occasion, and they've got to keep that, intensity.
Powell drives the baseline for a jumper. 6 points for Ronell Powell. 10-6 in favor of Dominican. You got a scramble on the floor. A ball called jump ball situation. Possession arrow favors the Penguins.
Here comes, actually, that's Lusain loses the ball, and Penguins get the turnover.
Border almost loses the ball, but gets it to Harmon. And this is the three-point opportunity. Here comes the Tritons. Moore driving the baseline. Ball knocked off his leg. Good defensive play by Border, creating that situation.
2 consecutive turnovers, and that's going to be key for the Penguins tonight if they want to beat this Triton team. Turnovers, like in any basketball game, always are something that you have to minimize. Right now, the Penguins are getting the end of their end of things.
Hunter drives on Moore, goes inside, doesn't get it to fall. Moore clears out for the Tritons. Here comes Lusain up court. Gets it to Matthews on the wing. Short jumper doesn't go down. Swindell picks off the rebound. He's been cleaning the boards for most of the night for San Diego. 14:26 to go in the first quarter. Dominican up by 4. Chris Moore has his shot tapped away by Powell, and a foul is going to be going on Ronell. Steve Smith certainly didn't like that. He's off the bench quickly.
You see Ronell running in. You see Powell up against Swindell, or actually Moore. Moore takes the shot, and he gets hammered on the hand here. And Moore on the line. 79.2%. That's outstanding, and obviously that's why he is in the running for an NCAA Division III All-American candidate.
Chris Moore sinks the deuce and cuts the Penguin lead down to 2. 4:18 to go in the first half. The first 2 points for Moore on the night. Inside, Powell gives it to Ogman. Nowhere to go. And he goes up against Moore, and he gets the basket. I tell you, that was just stumbling, bumbling, fumbling, rumbling, and getting the basket to go down. And the coach for San Diego was really screaming 3 seconds in there. How long can he stand there with the ball?
A little shaker out of roll time.
Matthews inside, can't get it, but Swindell does with the follow.
Well, Swindell, as we alluded to, a big guy. Actually, Swindell, is about 210, a senior at 6'6", and he's a burly guy, and he likes to take it right inside the paint, either off the low left block or right block. And you saw earlier when he stripped the ball out of, I believe, Ogman's hands, and something that the Penguins have got to watch out for.
Tom Gehring, number 10, junior from Carson, Concord, going to give him a new city where he's from. Checks in for Borda. Ogman inside. Second consecutive points for Ogman.
That's what we talked about in the pregame. I told you that Ofer Ogman gets a little, a little lackadaisical down below. He tends to be a little off balance, but when he plants his feet down and goes up strong, he can hurt you inside.
Moore for 3. Never saw that in high school. He's really picked up his offense. Chris Moore now with 4. The Penguin lead is 1. Powell, nice spin move on Swindell. Gehring for 3. What a way to come off the bench and sink the 3 right off the bat.
Tommy Gehring, the transfer from Los Mandanos JC. Great job, as you alluded to.
Swindell inside. Nice move around Ogman to get the basket. Swindell with 4.
Swindell likes to hit those points in the paint, and that's what he does best, obviously.
Hunter's pass is intercepted by Lusain. He was trying to get it to Ogman. Ogman with the steal on Lusain. How can a guy that tall have that happen? But he loses control now to Swindell. Lusain gets it to Matthews on the baseline. Rebound comes down to Powell. He gets it out quickly on the break. Penguins on the move. Riggins goes in.
Jonas, who didn't start tonight, can hurt you on the transition. He can take it strong to the hole. He can also shoot the perimeter shots as well. And he is a player that the Tritons have to contend with.
19-15 in favor of Dominican. 11:40 to go in the first half. Foul on the play against the Penguins to get more substitutions. Foul is going to be called on Gehring, first personal. That is the 4th team foul against Dominican. Now checking in for the Penguins. Coming in now, number 13, Munsell. You get a three-pointer there by Spence. Spence now with 9 points here in the first half.
Spence is another guy that can hurt you from outside, averaging 16.9 points per game. And he's got a nice touch from outside.
Powell locked up at the top and loses the ball. Thrown away, picked up by Gehring. Gehring going in hard. He gets clobbered on the side by Chris Moore. Got a double-axe shot inside by Mike Hankin.
Here it is. Tommy Gehring strong to the hole, I should say. And Moore and Hannigan simply just create the foul there.
Moore gets his first personal. That is the second team foul against San Diego. Gehring sinks it, makes it 20-18. Gehring with 4 points. Hampton has nowhere to go. Tries to throw it around and could not keep control, but either way, the Tritons will have possession.
Maurice Munsell did a nice job along with Riggins and Powell to get up there to trap at half court and almost gave UC San Diego a little a tough time, I should say, up there, and almost created a turnover.
Coach Tom Marshall is questioning some of the questioning the situation here.
You know, you talk about Coach Tom Marshall. For 3 years now, they've had 20 or more three-year winning streaks, or I should say 20-game wins in a season for 3 consecutive straight years. They were Sweet 16 NCAA Division III team in 1991, I believe. Last year was named the 1991 District Kodak Coach of the Year. So he is a guy that knows how to win, and a 1977 graduate of San Diego State University. But Marshall, with his hands in his pockets, you see head coach Steve Smith over there talking to the officials. There's Coach Marshall. He knows how to get his players fired up. They've been winning. At one time, when he took over, UC San Diego wasn't the winningest program on the West, especially in the Division III NCAA. And they've done a terrific job over in La Jolla.
With 11:08 to go in the first half, there seems to be just some disputes going on the other side. I'm sure that the referees, Jeff Stewart and Steve Wilson, will straighten that out quickly here. Just want to talk a little bit about the previous game between these two teams. As we mentioned in the open, it was Chris Moore, 30 points, and 5 of those were from three-point range. And we've seen his ability here tonight as he's sunk 1 here in the first half. But he also had a little help from Spence, and I can see now why he had that kind of help with all the attention going to Moore. Spence roams that baseline freely and manages to get open shots, and he'll put him down in a minute.
Oh yeah, he can hurt you when he's open. Look out, because he can sink the rock into that basket virtually every time. You know, you talk about Moore being a local guy from San Rafael. Last game, 12 for 14 field, 30 points, and you know he's got a sister, Dana Moore, who played at San Rafael High School.
Yes, she did. Dana was part of the state champion team that San Rafael had.
Right.
She, along with another outstanding talent, Michelle Bravelli, was a very tough team to handle.
Dana plays at the University of San Diego. They lost in the championship game to St. Joseph's of Santa Maria at the Oakland Coliseum. But she's an outstanding player, so
as we resume play, boy, they're getting tough inside. Ball goes out of bounds and looks like it'll still remain with UC San Diego. One more little point on Dana Moore. She and A host of other MCAL standouts in girls basketball went to the Southland to play basketball this year as freshmen. Lucene hits the three-pointer. He finally gets on the board, and UC San Diego now has taken the lead for the first time tonight, 21-20. Steal by Lucene. Make that a three-point lead now.
You got to be careful of their backcourt because Lucene, he can do that. Gering had a tough time for a little while last time these two teams met, but they're real good on the transition. They're not the best ball handlers in the world, but they're very good on the transition.
Ivory Joe with the ball on top. Chris Moore guarding him, and he gives it up now to Gering. Gering's in 5-second territory. He's got to get rid of it. Riggins looking for the opening. Penguins trying to work for a shot, and the Titans are making him work awfully hard. The clock has gotten down to 15 seconds on the 45-second shot clock. And a half minute there working that ball, you expend a lot of energy if you're trying to score.
Well, as you talked about against SF State, time management is a key, and they've got to look for the open shots at the appropriate time. They've got to penetrate and dish out. That seems to be their best attributes of this team.
Down to 5 on the shot clock. Hunter inside, loses grip. Here comes Lucene. Gets it over to Hankin. Nice back away by Powell. And they said Powell was out of bounds.
It is Oscar Mayer time for that young man. It was lunchtime. Get your... You see the replay here. Here comes Hannigan, and Powell says, bye-bye, lunchtime.
With 9:38 to go in the first half, we got an official's timeout. As San Diego leads Dominican 23-20. And at that, let's take a break. We'll be right back right after this message.
See, this is our clubhouse, and it's going to be up on a hill where nobody can find us. Dad, we've got a problem.
Well, let's... Why don't we? We design your world so everyone can take part.
Welcome back to Freitas Memorial Gym on the campus of Marin Catholic High School. It's college basketball on Marin 36 Sports. I'm Tucker Rivers along with Mike McDowd. And you're watching UC San Diego against Dominican College. UC San Diego's leading 23-20.
You know, back in early January on the 2nd, this San Diego team played Oregon State, which they got rocked 97-39. So they've also played their share of Division I opponents. I remember we talked about San Francisco State playing USC and Howard University. And so this team has been up against some good opponents this year.
Spence shot comes off. Swindoll with the rebound. He's all over the place. That's the trouble. One of the trouble spots that seems like Dominican's having. No one's able to keep Swindoll off the backboard. Swindoll now with 6. There he is in the middle once again, clearing off a missed shot.
Now Swindoll likes to use his size, and he's a very physical player.
Lucene inside has a shot knocked away by Riggins, but Riggins will be called for the foul.
You see the drive here. Riggins gets all over Lucene, and to no avail. Gets a little wrist as he goes up, and that'll send him to the charity line. And Lucene is a pretty good free throw shooter at 72% even. However, he chokes the first one, so little monkey on the back right there.
Lucene comes away with goose eggs from the line. Still, San Diego's on a 6-0 run here over the past 2 minutes. Harmon for 3. That's just the icebreaker. The Penguins needed Harmon with his first basket on the night.
As we alluded in the pregame, Tucker, Sean Harmon, you got to get him the ball. He's got to play hot. Turnover time. That's what the Penguins need, and they also need Sean Harmon in this game.
He came out with the press that time and created the turnover. 8:30 to go in the first half. The Penguins with a chance to either tie or take the lead. Powell from the top of the key falls off short. Lassane, the little man, with the rebound. Here come the Tritons. Moore on the baseline. Nice move to go back inside, but he loses control. Munsell let the ball get away from him. He had a chance to bring it up court, tried to move before he dribbled the ball. Turned his head away, couldn't keep control.
Off the old foot there, and, well, those things happen, and that's the game of basketball. What else can you say, Tucker?
Hankin loses the ball. Harmon tries to pick it up, and he does. He gets it to Riggins, to Hunter.
Great plays, great pass from Riggins to Hunter on the transition. Little layup, no problem. I expected something bigger than that, but I'm sure that'll come later.
Good pressure by the Penguins. Riggins with the steal, gets it to Hunter, and Hunter waited too late to reach for it. Hankin picks it up, gets it to Moore for the trade. No, off to Swindell inside. Beautiful knock away by Riggins.
I don't know, Tucker. You call that one. You look at this one as Swindell takes it back door, and I guess he got him on the back, the body. I didn't see the hand. Maybe you saw it.
Well, that type of foul is actually called the armpit foul. The armpit, the bottom of it, kind of got him on the back of the head there. That's a hard foul to see.
Thanks, Tucker. I guess
just remember that. You see the armpit foul, be careful.
Okay. I will.
7:48 to go here in the first half, going to the line.
So for the rest of the game, we will calmly refer that to as the armpit foul.
Swindell going to the line. Andy Swindell. He's a 6'6" senior. Good size, 210.
Swindell, who has 11 block shots this year, averages 7.1 rebounds per year this season. The leading rebounder on this team, and as we talked about, he likes to get his points in the paint. And although he misses the first one, a 72% free throw shooting.
Swindell sinks 1 of 2. Tritons take the lead by 1. 7.5 minutes to go in the first half of play. Riggins drives the baseline and throws it away. And the ball will go out of bounds to UC San Diego. And Harmon says, I never touched the ball. That's what he's arguing with the official about at this time.
Well, I think that was a decent call.
Chris Racer in now for UC San Diego. As Swindell takes the jumper. Nice soft touch to get that one to go down. He's got 9. UC San Diego leads by 3. Ogman is checked back in. He gets a pass inside to Hunter. Nice move.
Good high-low pass from Ogman to Hunter off the low left block. That's something that they've got to work on throughout this game.
And stepping out of bounds with the ball was Kareem Matthews.
Yes.
Good pressure that time. Put on by Ivory Joe Hunter. 6:58 to go in the first half. Now Dominican with a chance to get that lead back.
You see Matthews, he hits the right foot out of bounds.
Ivory Joe Hunter.
Showtime, baby. What a great play, and that looks so pretty on TV and in person, I'll tell you. That was he is such an athletic player, and he can do that to you all night long.
Penguins take the lead. Still playing that tight man-to-man. Moore is currently out for UC San Diego. Brad Halt, 33, is in along with Racer, 22, with the ball. Gets it to Matthews up on top. Swindell seems to be the man inside, but Racer for 3. Beautiful rainbow as he gets past the ball. Chris Racer, 6'1" junior out of Los Gatos.
Last year he shot 58% from three-point land, so he can hurt you from outside.
San Diego leads by 2, 31-29. Ogman throws it away, but recaptures the ball. Tries to go to Hunter inside. He had Powell wide open on the left wing for a 3. Here comes San Diego. Brad Halt gets it outside to Swindell. They work it around the horn. Hantgen hits the 3.
See what they're trying to do is they're trying to work the ball out on the perimeter and expose the weak spots of the court. And that's what they did in La Jolla, by the way. They certainly tried to look for the open man outside, and once they did that, they were able to take it inside. So the Penguins have got to watch out for that.
Nice give and go. Powell to Ogman. Blocking foul is going to be called on Reza. As we get a chance to see here, hopefully, that was a beautiful display of the give and go.
It was Powell to Ogman off the right block, takes it up, he's fouled, and he has the opportunity to shoot the two-shot foul here. And Mr. Ogman is around 69.7% from the line. And, well, that's why he is averaging 6.8 points per game. And, you know, we talked about him. We've seen it already. You see how he gets the ball down there in the low block? And he becomes a little erratic, and then once he gets on balance, he takes it up nicely.
34-31, San Diego leads. They break the pressure. They got 3-on-1. Moore took a step before he came forward, but he missed a shot. Break there for the Penguins. Higgins brings it up against Reza. 5:18 to go in the first half. Powell had the ball open for a second. Matthews saves it, but he throws it way down court. Nice play by Powell to shield off Swindell from getting the ball. Checking in now for UC San Diego is Hantgen once again. He'll replace Matthews. Foul situation. Dominican with 6. One more, and that will have San Diego shooting penalty free throws. As Hunter, nice move inside, finger roll and all. Ivory Joe now with 10. Oh, they break the press beautifully. Swindell gets up court wide open. They had 2 men down there on the situation. 36-33 in favor of San Diego. Powell from the baseline. Hantgen with the rebound. Here comes San Diego once again. Reza wide open for the three-point opportunity, but decides to step up and miss.
Well, he was certainly wide open with nobody on him, and you've got to be able to hit those shots.
Ogman loses the ball. Looked like he was fouled. Hantgen really didn't want it. Riggins couldn't control it.
That was sure weird. He kind of just waited for the ball to go out of bounds, and Riggins cut in front of him and almost stole the ball. Got a timeout here.
Timeout taken by Dominican with 4:05 left to go in the first half. UC San Diego is leading 36-33. The Penguins are putting up quite a battle here. Different story than the last time these two got together. As we mentioned in the open, UC San Diego hit them with a trio there, basically with Spence having 22, Chris Moore with 30, and a guy we haven't seen yet, the one you've been dying to talk about, Bill Capella.
Oh, yes. Bill?
I'm sorry. Make it Brian Capella. I get the name. Brian Capella. That's why you looked at me funny when I said Bill.
Said, huh? Yeah, I had a little fun with him last time. When you're getting beat by 25, 30 points, and you're on doing, I do the games on the radio for Dominican College, and sometimes you need to fill a little time, and I coined the phrase Brian Acapella. And I don't know how well he sings, but he certainly played a decent game, and he's a fine player. Another guy I want to mention for UC San Diego, he's not on he's actually on the team, but he's not, I believe he's redshirting, is a guy by the name of Khalil Allen. Now, Allen is in the world of basketball is a pretty famous last name. His father is Lucius Allen, the former UCLA great and Laker great, played with Kareem and Mike Warren and those great John Wooden teams.
And it certainly was one heck of a ball player. Nice block by Ivory Joe. Swatting away Swindell's shot, and he can't control it, but he gets it back. Harmon for three. Harmon with his second three-pointer. We're now tied at 36.
Sean Harmon, deadly from outside, good pressure in the backcourt. Riggins and Powell putting some good pressure in the backcourt and trying to not allow San Diego to bring it up the court so easily. And San Diego, as we saw earlier, at one time broke the press fairly well.
Got themselves in a great 2-on-1 situation. Foul is going to be called on Harmon for pushing Raisa, and that's going to send Raisa to the line because now the Penguins are over the limit.
Looks like Rodney Lucane comes up to the scoring table over there, I noticed. But, you know, Ressa, I talked about, he's a guy that can shoot from outside and comes off the bench and gives the Tritons some extra firepower. He was really tough against the Dominican down in La Jolla. I remember him vividly. He shot the lights out of the ball.
Raisa completes the deuce for San Diego, puts them back up by 2 as Lucane checks back in. 3:42 to go until halftime. Dominican with a chance to try to tie this up. Riggins, he lost the ball off his fingertips. Ogman inside, gets it to Powell. That ball is hopping around like a popcorn inside of a bag that's really bursting open sometimes.
It was hot potato time there, definitely.
The Penguins come up empty. Here are the Tritons trying to extend their lead, and they will. Chris Moore, 7 points in the first half. Jump ball, possession arrow favors San Diego.
You know, UC San Diego averages about exactly 76.5 points per game. They have a California NAIA Division III scheduling conference that they've kind of put together a number of statistics, and they like to score. The Penguins average 87.2, however.
Foul is going to be called against San Diego.
You see the shot here. Moore puts it up, way up, and Mr. Hunter gets up way up in the air and was pushed from behind. And the Penguins get the ball, and they only find themselves down by 4. And I think that's about the best news that any Dominican fan can hope for.
Riggins throws the ball away. San Diego trying to get that lead extended. Here's Spence. He got that ball right off the palm of his hand and shot a line drive that barely made it over the rim. 2:15 to go. San Diego up by 6. First half action here. As Riggins loses the ball out of bounds, they trapped him along the wing, the right wing that is, and he could not get himself situated to get rid of the ball.
You talk about Spence, he shoots 53.2% from the floor.
Getting in close that time. They almost lost the inbounds play that time. Brad Halt got on the board just now. This first basket. Penguins having a little trouble. 44-36 is trapping defense. It's almost like a boxing one. Here's Hunter. Can't get it to go. Harmon with the rebound. They're battling hard inside everywhere. Boy, I tell you, seems like you stick your hand in, you get the ball. Everybody's jumping.
Well, Spence got the ball. Now they're on the transition. But there looks like a traveling violation to me.
Here comes Riggins. Gives it to Hunter. Oh, no. Misses the slam opportunity. Spence baseline back for San Diego.
You see Spence, as I alluded to, 53.2% from the floor, but Hunter took it down the length of the court. You can't miss those type of baskets when you have a 10-point deficit right now. You've got to be able to take the easy little layup, and you've got to be able to capitalize on those.
Within the last 2 minutes, Dominican has really taken off on their offensive, and they hadn't had a chance to get that rolling. They've gone the other way. Been on an 8-0 run here by UC San Diego. Oh, we have a moment here with a minute 10 to go in the first half. I want to talk about the Dominican women's basketball team. I mean, they have really got that program on a roll. They pulled off an upset just recently, beating Division III member UC Santa Cruz in the semifinals of a Mills College tournament. And they're being in an NAIA entry has to be a big boost for the program. They lost to UC Santa Cruz twice earlier in the season. Once they lost by 92 to 66, and I tell you, that was tough to have that go through. But they come back, and to beat UC Santa Cruz, Jennifer Rogers had 25 points, Erin Hope 18, Jody Jacobson 14, and Melinda Tyler 13. 16-4 record for those gals. And I think they've got a game going on right now.
Listen to this. I just saw there's head coach Dave Ferraro over there, and he's got a trophy in his right hand, or in his left hand, and a big smile on his face. I think they just beat Mills College for the Heart of the Bay tournament, so they, I believe, just won a big tournament over in the East Bay. And we'll get the update on that.
Penguins with a chance now to get this lead under 10. They need to keep it at that point. They won't have a chance. Hunter way outside. Hits the rainbow. Ivory Joe Hunter.
Ivory Joe. He can hurt you from outside as well.
13 points for Ivory Joe. The trap is working. It goes off of Lucene, and the Penguins will have control.
Great pressure in the backcourt. You see Borda getting all over him with Powell. They knocked the ball off of Lucene's chest, and they get the turnover and a chance to cut the lead here.
Borda loses the ball. Foul is going to be called against Hantgen as he and Daring collided. 33 seconds to go in the half. Dominican down by 7. Want to get that a little bit closer. Either work for the last shot, just score quickly, and just hope they don't get a basket. We're down to 25 seconds. And Hunter can't control it. Ogman gets a loose ball, goes in himself.
Oh, fear, no fear with the fingertip roll to the basket. Strong move, and that's what he needs to do.
Coming back, UC San Diego with 7 seconds left. Hantgen on the move, gets in, and he will be fouled on the play. I believe Ogman got him this time.
You see Hankton going up. Ogman goes straight up with his left hand, a little off balance, and commits the foul. But so far, I think it's been an extremely impressive performance for the Penguins, who normally, historically, have had an extremely tough time with this team. And suffice it to say, they're playing a very good first half of basketball.
Ogman will go out. Harmon back in. 7 seconds to go in the first half. Howell comes down the rebound, has it stolen by Hantgen. He goes to Moore at the buzzer. We've come to the end of the first half. Chris Moore puts an accent on the first half for UC San Diego as they lead Dominican 49-41. We'll be back with second half action, but first we'll have a little halftime something for you. We'll be back right after this. We're at halftime at Freitas Memorial Gym on the campus of Marin Catholic High School. College basketball here at Marin 36 Sports. Our halftime features 2 outstanding athletes from the Dominican College program. Take a look at Ivory Joe Hunter John Smith.
Welcome back. It's halftime, everybody. Coming to you from the campus of Dominican College in Santa Fe. I'm Mike Redab. Now, when you think about college basketball, you don't necessarily think about Dominican College of Santa Fe. Now, the advent of college basketball is in the makings here in Santa Fe. And joining me next to me is Ivory Joe Hunter and John Smith. And Ivory, who is a fine basketball player, averages about 21 points per game, a transfer from San Jose State University. Ivory, you come into this program with a lot of big-time college experience. How has the transition been so far?
Well, actually, it's been, pretty good. It's been better than what I expected. The team is doing better now in the latter part of the season, and it's all because of our coach, Steve Smith, the way he has us playing. We're all open, and right here we get to play a game, whereas at San Jose State I didn't play my game, and it's fun playing here.
John Smith joining me next to me on the left. John, you have an extremely interesting background as well. First of all, he is, of course, the coach's brother, and you come into this program playing at a program where, well, it's about as big as it gets. The University of Nevada, Las Vegas, the Running Rebels. You played with Jerry Darkanian, the legendary coach. What has it been for you coming into this program, playing under those type of surroundings?
It's been different, but, it doesn't matter where you play, it's how you play. All right, and coming here, my brother allows us to play, as did Coach Tarkanian. I liked playing for UNLV very much, but it just wasn't the right situation for me at that time. I got hurt, and other things happened that, unfortunately ended my career there short. But now I'm able to pick up again and continue my career here, and I'm very happy.
Well, now you're redshirting this year, so you're actually helping coach this team and handling some of the recruiting duties as well. How does the future hold for Dominican College?
The future looks very bright for us. We have about 6 or 7 big men coming in to check out the college, and we have verbal commitments from 2 from Southern California. A point guard from Riverside North High, where I attended and coached there after I left Vegas, and 6'7" postman from La Sierra with the name of Steve Post. So, we should be looking pretty good next year.
Well, of course, basketball for these two guys is something that's very important and near and dear to their hearts. Ivory Joe Hunter standing next to me, as I alluded to. Ivory, you're a guy with many accolades. In junior college in Bristol, Pennsylvania, this young man had 33 triple-doubles out of 35 games. Come on, Ivory, that is something that's astonishing. 33 triple-doubles.
Hey, you have the right support and the staff, you can do it, I just played my game, and everybody was open because I draw so much attention to me that, I'm able to pass the ball to other people, and they're making a bucket, so that's all that counts. And right now, the same thing's happening here at Dominican. We got players stepping up, Ronell Powell, great players, Sean Harmon, Ernest Riggins, Doug Stewart. I can go on. Our team is playing very well, and that's all. I don't credit myself, I credit my team.
You guys have had a couple monumental victories this year, huge. 2 wins over Menlo College. They had never beaten Menlo in the history of that series. They were 0-9, now they're 2-9, and you beat Biola University. Talk about those wins and what that means to this program.
Well, Biola, first of all, is a big win for us because when I came here, that's all I heard about was Biola this, Biola that, how good they were. And we went up there, I knew we can beat them, but, things happened and we didn't. So when we beat them out here, it was a big win for us. And as far as Menlo, we haven't beat them in the last, 9 years or so, and this was a big win for us because it wasn't just a game, but it was a tough team, and it really helped us out in the rankings. So it was a big win for us. We all played well. It was a big win.
Well, John, you talk about the future. You're going to be playing here next year. How is this program going to get into the big time in terms of small college basketball at the NAIA level? Do you see this program evolving into almost a powerhouse?
I very much so believe that we can evolve into a powerhouse. With the help of our great athletic director, Bill Fusco, he's put together 2 wonderful schedules in the future that will give us exposure. And all we need to play the way we can play and bring in the players that, we can't get, just play together and play hard. And, by playing good against the bigger teams, that will breach more recruits to come in and only can help the program, So I see us getting better as time goes on.
And certainly kudos to Bill Fusco, who's the athletic director here, who's just done a terrific job. But I know for both of you, there is something that's called life after basketball. Ivory, I know you aspire to stand right here with a microphone in your hand. I know that you want to be a broadcast announcer.
Which is true. My major is radio and TV broadcasting. I don't have that much experience, but I do like to speak in front of the camera. I like to sing as well. But after I graduate from San Jose State next semester, I will be going to a sports broadcasting camp. Hopefully I can get better, and that's what I aspire to do.
Do you want to sing a few bars?
No, thank you.
John, what about you? You have another year here left. What do you plan to do?
Well, I'm about, after this semester, I will only have about anywhere between 12 and 15 units to finish my psychology degree. And after that, I plan on going back into coaching and counseling. That's what I want to get into, and I have the perfect opportunity here with my brother being here and helping out the program. This can get my foot in the door, so to speak, So continue in that situation.
All right, final question for both of you real quickly. What has Dominican College meant to you? I mean, they're trying to build a program here. What has the college done for you, and why, are you enjoying the academic environment? Because actually, not too many people know that Dominican College, for the most part, even has an up-and-coming basketball program.
As far as academics is concerned, I really enjoy it here because we're more in touch with our professors. Whereas at San Jose State, we had 500 people in the class. We had 30 people here, and we can stay in touch with our teachers. So I really like it academically. In the basketball program, I'm very happy with it. I mean, Steve's doing a good job with running the team. I think we're all playing our game. We're playing good right now. We have a good chance of making the playoffs. So I'm happy here at Dominican. And plus, one more thing I like to say before he kills me, I like to say what's up to my roommate Maurice. And Bill, I forgot to mention your name, but Bill's doing a good job. And also Fab 5 freshman we got. So
that's only if you sing next time for us, Ivory. Okay. John, now finally for you, what about Dominican College academically? It has a terrific reputation. What are you getting out of this fine college?
Like Ivory just mentioned, being at UNLV, it was so big. Our classes were 300 students plus. Being here, you're more in touch with the teachers, and you can meet with them after class, and you have great advisors that set out a plan for you to get your degree. And that's the main thing, is to get your degree. And they have a perfect plan to get you there, as long as you stay on course. And this Dominican provides that for me, and I love it here.
I know I'm adding another question, but for you, what sort of advice do you give to a young man or woman that want to come to this school to play basketball, and especially the kids here in the county? I mean, how are you going to get kids to come to go to school here?
Well, the main thing I stress is that it's not where you go to play and get recognition, because you can get recognition here. I mean, we play big schools, we travel just as much as other teams, and they offer a great academic program here, and that's basically what I try and stress to the recruits coming in, is that this is a program where the coaches care about you and the academic staff cares about you, and that's the key, because being at other big-time schools, I'm not saying that UNLV didn't, but I mean, it was easier for me to take care of my academics here as opposed to a bigger school.
Okay, Ivory, Joe Hunter, and John Smith, thank you very much. We are at halftime, and of course these two players are some of the marquee players for Dominican College. And again, it's halftime. Stay tuned and join Tucker Rivers and of course myself, and stay tuned for the game.
The best in community sports you can't beat. Local cable programming. TV that hits home.
Welcome to second half action here at Freitas Memorial Gym in Kentfield. Dominican College Penguins hosting UC San Diego. Penguins in their home white, trailing by 8.5. Nice turnaround move by Hunter. Missed it, but Powell gets the follow. And we're going to have a foul called on Matthews as Powell went up for his second attempt at getting it up for the basket. Doesn't get it to roll. You look at the stats here, scoring stats of the first half. Ivy Joe Hunter leads Dominican. And Mr. Spence, John Spence, senior for UC San Diego, is leading the Tritons. Powell scores his first points of the second half. Now has 7 with a chance to cut the lead down to 6, and he does. Cornell Powell, 8 points. Just underway here, second half action. Tucker Rivers along with Mike McDowell. You saw in the first half, Mike, UC San Diego just went on a roll and took command of this game. And the Penguins need to keep that from happening in order to stay close or take the lead.
I think the coaching staff talked about it, and I think they got their players mentally prepared for the second half. But they got to get the ball. Ogman's got to hold on to the ball.
Penguins driving in for the shot. They can't seem to control it. This ball's going everywhere. Border went inside. He's got Ogman there. He gets the ball to roll in.
Ogman off the low left block. Again, as we talked about, he can hurt you down below, and they've got to continue to do that. They've got to get the defensive boards as well. They can't let San Diego continue to get the offensive boards like that.
They're battling inside. Foul is going to be called against Dominican.
You see Swindell off the right block. Moore goes up strong, and I believe Ogman nails him right on the arm. You know, from the floor tonight, San Diego was 6 for 10, 60% obviously. That's actually from the free throw line, but from the floor they were, we'll get 71.4%. And that's pretty good shooting, and we'll get those stats, make sure those stats are correct. Dominican from the floor 63% tonight, and from the free throw line they shot 60. From three-point land they were 67%.
Harmon misses the three-point opportunity. Swindell clears it off for UC San Diego. They get up quite quickly. Spence will be called for traveling. Turnover. The ball will go over to Dominican.
Tucker, one of the key statistics that we've got to mention is the fact that Dominican in the first half had 17 turnovers. You cannot win a basketball game doing that to UC San Diego's 10. So they've got to minimize here in the second half.
Borda for 3.
And they've got to have Bill Borda shooting from the outside.
Borda, the sophomore from Carson City, Nevada. They've cut down the Triton lead to 2. Hunter is all over the place trying to get that ball away from San Diego. Man-to-man defense by the Penguins. Hunter with the steal. Against Lassane. Nice 360, and Lassane will be called for the foul. Hunter really wanted to put a move on him, but looked like he slipped there as he got inside the block.
You see Mr. Hunter, the all-everything from San Jose State, put a move on Lassane and was fouled. And I'll tell you what, you know, I want to mention this tonight, Tucker. This by far is this is homecoming here at Dominican, and these players are ready to play. This is a large crowd they've got here tonight.
Good-sized crowd on hand. Usually that brings out the best effort in everyone. They try extremely hard. Don't ever like to lose a homecoming game. Don't care what team it is, what level of sport. They always want to win that special game. Hunter gets 1 of 2, cuts the UC San Diego lead down to 1.
Penguins look like in a man-to-man here. UC San Diego doing a lot of screening away to the basket. Ogman and Swindell pushing down below.
Here's Spence. Hits the two-pointer. Spence with 16. Borda drives inside. Nice move. Bill Borda gets in. 5 points here in the second half.
Bill Borda, the little 5'11" guard, strong to the hole, and somehow stood up there in the air like he was, well, I don't want to say like Michael would, but he certainly hung in there and got the ball to go.
Swindell gets the bounce in the friendly roll. Swindell with 9. Fear goes inside, and he was a carousel that time on the traveling call.
I like that one.
Watch him go around round and round and round. There you go.
I like that. Carousel. I like that one.
16:35 to go in the game. Spence with a three-pointer. Hunter pulled his hand back at the last second there. Had a chance to block it. Three-pointer by Spence.
Penguins quickly on the transition. You see, once again, no fear with an easy 2.
He gets those high knee action moves inside like Roger Craig, formerly of the 49ers, and you don't want to stand in the way of that.
No.
Nothing like getting a knee in your chest and an offensive foul at the same time. Spence with a nice move, doesn't get it to go. He'll go to the line to shoot 2. It'll be the second team foul of the half against Dominican.
You see the pass to Spence. Spence takes it left-handed, doesn't get the roll. Yeah, but he's fouled. And Mr. Spence will, of course, find himself on the line. And Spence, a senior out of San Diego, kind of an All-American looking kind of kid. And misses the first one.
57-53 in favor of UC San Diego. 86% free throw shooter. Gets 1 of 2. Spence now with 20 points on the night. 58-53, 15:58 to go. Borda has it taken away from Risa. And he commits the foul after losing the ball. That will be the third team foul against Dominican. Borda with his second. Spins inside once again. And the foul is going to be called on Swindell, and he landed on Borda. And I tell you, that kind of weight coming down on you, that can hurt. But I think they're going to call the foul on Borda.
I can't believe that call. I cannot. Bill Borda goes straight up. You saw the replay, and big Andy Swindell just took a body to him. And he went down hard.
That hurts twice.
Yes, it does. I mean, Borda is a competitor. He's a feisty guy, and when you got big Andy Swindell on you, that's tough.
Spence cannot miss. Spence with 23.
Penguins got to get the crowd into this game as well. It's been kind of quiet.
Matthews against Harmon. Pulled up very nicely to score to 2. Got to be a timeout coming up pretty soon for Dominican.
Yeah, Steve Smith, I saw him. You called that one right. He wants to take it.
15:08 to go in the contest. Dominican trails UC San Diego by 10. Seems like every time the Penguins want to get a little closer, San Diego takes that run and just moves out a little farther, making it rough on them.
Yeah, 10-point deficit here, but nevertheless, I think Dominican has got to be pleased. I think there's one thing, and I touched on it briefly with you, Tucker, is turnovers. 17 in the first half. You cannot do that if you're going to win a college basketball game, especially against the very good UC San Diego team, they cover all facets of the game, inside, outside, and their bench is okay. They have a couple guys like Ressa who can come off and shoot, but I think Dominican's pleased, but I know they know they can play better than this, and I know for a fact they feel like they can win this game.
Dominican's going to have to hold off on defense because it seems like Spence from the outside is getting himself open, and he has been on fire here in the second half. He's pulled up with 9 points, and it's 9 of the 14 that Dominican has given up to UC San Diego here. Penguins with the ball. Gehring has Risa on him. Powell having a little trouble. He gives it up to Gehring. Good defense by UC San Diego. It looks like Dominican is not getting into their offense at all, and they lose the ball once again. You brought it up, the turnovers. It's been a headache for Dominican.
Well, let's hear a little stop in the action here. Again, turnovers. They've got to somehow minimize those and learn to bring the ball up the court.
Just under the 15-minute mark here in the second half. UC San Diego leads by 10. Dominicans going for the steal. And they get caught with their hands inside the trap this time. As Gehring picks up the personal. Second personal on Gehring. 5th team foul and a half for Dominican. UC San Diego with only 2. San Diego taking their time. And just as I say that, Swindell wanted to shoot. That call for traveling.
Big guy. You see Swindell getting the ball in the low post there and drags his foot clear across the continent, and Penguins get the ball, and they've got to look for Hunter and Powell, and you see Moore all over him now, and talking back to the referee as well.
Second personal against Chris Moore, the 3rd team foul against UC San Diego as Hansen will come in replacing Matthews.
They've got to look to keep this thing even. They've got to have Riggins getting in the ball game offensively here. They can't just be Powell and Hunter.
Turnovers creating a problem. Ressa gets the basket for UC San Diego. Munsell for 3.
Madman Munsell, he can shoot from outside. He proved that last time against this team.
Spence goes in and rejected by Hunter, and the foul is called.
And Ivory Joe can't believe it. He goes up strong. Steve Smith going nuts over there on the sideline. Puts his hand on his forehead. Look at this. Here's the replay. Spence. Okay, you call that. That was.
All right, I'll call it. That was a beautiful rejection.
Thank you. Thank you. That's, you know.
Referee Jeff Stewart making the call. And the crowd's not happy with that, as you can hear. But Mr. Spence doesn't care because he's on the line. Checking back in will be Brad Holt. Holt's a 6'5" senior out of El Cajon.
And there's an old saying, sometimes you kick and sometimes you get kicked, and that did not favor in the Penguins' way at all.
Spence now with 24 points. Hunter drives inside. He gets the foul on Ressa. Ressa picks up his second personal, 4th team foul. So the Penguin lineup: Ray Villegas, Riggins, Munsell, Hunter with the ball now, and Powell. Riggins throws it, and it hits the bottom of the backboard, coming down to UC San Diego. Hansen on the baseline to Brad Holt.
Holt can hit, and he does. I mean, he only averages 4.5 points per game.
Hunter on the baseline gets the layup. Beautiful pass from the outside. Hunter wide open. 69-58. 12-55 to go in the contest. Hunter lets Spence go that time. Spence is just all over the place here in the second half.
Yeah, he's playing outstanding, and those are the keys for San Diego: Spence and Moore, no doubt about it.
Munsell loses the ball out of bounds. Spence had 22 against the Penguins in their first meeting this year. It was Spence, Moore, and Acapella doing the damage against Dominican. Spence on the baseline.
All night long, they're leaving him alone open. They've got to get out there and get in his face because, hey, when you leave a guy like that wide open, he's going to hurt you. He's going to, and he obviously has shown us tonight that he can put that little ball in the basket.
29 points for Spence. Dominican battling once again. Here comes the Tritons. Hanson Teresa on the baseline. Rainbow goes down. Steve Smith says, we've had enough here. Let's stop this for a while. Teresa with 9 points. 75-58. The Penguin defense, the scattered man-to-man defense that they're running is not working. They're not switching off and getting caught with players being wide open. Well, we got a moment here. Let's talk about the Lady Penguins at Dominican College, Mike.
Well, tonight, Tucker, a big win for them. They beat Mills College 67-66 in overtime. Now, Jennifer Rogers, who is really perhaps their MVP on this team, just outstanding, hit a free throw with no time left to lift the Penguins to the 1-point victory. And Rogers was also no time left, hits the free throw. They win 67-66. Rogers was named the MVP of that Mills tournament. And also Aaron Pope had 18 points and Jody Jacobson had 15. And it's just an outstanding game for that entire team. Jennifer Rogers actually had 22 in the contest, and I tell you what, Dave Ferraro has just done an outstanding job with his ball club. The winningest coach in Dominican history, and 17-4 tonight. I think he has to be pretty happy with what he has done, and I know that athletic director Bill Fusco is extremely happy with the direction of the women's program.
The return to action, 11:58 to go in the contest. Dominicans got to start pounding some threes and playing tough defense. Riggins, in and out. Powell goes up with Spence. Goes back up for the shot. He gets tapped. Count the basket. 3-point opportunity for the Penguins coming up.
You see Ron getting that second shot. Puts a move over. Goes once up strong and off the right side. And the Penguins need some breaks here, down by 15. They're the type of team, if they can not turn the ball over, they can score. But certainly they need to hit it when they get on the line as well.
Missed opportunity, but Penguins get this opportunity now. Hussein with a nice steal away from Villegas. Penguins on the move. They've got to be careful here.
Villegas up with the ball on the pass from Munsell. Penguins did a good job getting back on defense, and Hunter went way up the air, almost deflected the ball.
Hunter inside, foul is called. Another 3-point opportunity coming up for Dominican College.
Exactly what they did. Nice pass from Wiggins to Hunter. Hunter went off the low left block and just took a baseline and went up and was fouled, and that's exactly what they need. They need to keep getting breaks like that, and they need to start creating turnovers.
They're not hitting the free throws, and Munsell is going to be called for the foul as he and Brad Holt went up with the ball, and Munsell just kind of twisted a little bit, and Holt went down.
You see the shot here. Holt goes up, and Munsell gets over his head and takes him down to the floor. It looked like the World Wrestling Federation out there. I mean, those two, as you notice, Maurice may not have the size, but he's a thick kid, and he can take care of himself.
Now a interesting situation. The Penguins are over the limit, so that means from here on out, any fouls created will be going to the line as it did there. We've got a jump ball situation. Possession arrow favors UC San Diego. So the advantage of the 1-and-1 situation for Dominican would be just like what happened there. If they miss the free throw, Dominican can get the rebound and try to come back and score. The old NC State theory against the University of Houston in the NCAA championships back in about 1984. And they installed another rule for that main reason. They call it the Valvano rule.
Jimmy V.
So after 10 fouls, it's automatic. So Jimmy V, he left the game with a little something. Here's Spence, baseline jumper. 2 men hanging around. Spence got those long arms up and made the basket. Spence over the 30-point mark for the night. 77-62, 10:42 to go in the contest. We're wrestling. Here comes Mr. Powell. Ivory Joe way outside. Nothing there. Powell once again with the rebound.
Good follow-up by Powell. Now they've got to look for Powell, who's posting up on the right side. Riggins sees daylight. And Powell and Hunter have done a nice job inside tonight. But I'm surprised, and I don't know why Sean Harmon as I speak, Harmon, you see the replay, Powell gets it. He's fouled. And just as I speak, Harmon gets right back in the game. And Harmon, who has a nice touch from outside, is really going to be one of the keys if they're going to cut this deficit.
Second attempt coming up for Ronell Powell. 77-63. 10:22 left to go in the contest. Both teams over the limit now, so this one-on-one situation could work in favor of Dominican. Munsell with the steal. Can he control it? No, the foul is going to be called on Swindell. And I tell you, the first time around, foul could have been called on Dominican because Spence got hit in the face on the rebound.
Munsell with a loose ball, and he goes up strong and just created the shot there for him and took his body up off the lower left block and created the foul. And that's what you need to do when you get the ball down below there. UC San Diego does indeed have a size advantage. They're a little bulkier and a little bit bigger.
Munsell with the second opportunity. 77-64. Doesn't get it to go. That's been a problem for the Penguins down the road here. They've missed at least 4 free throws when they've had the chance to get them. Coming up on the halfway point of the second half. Foul is going to be called on Munsell against Swindell. Munsell will pick up his second personal. And this is what's going to slow the game down just a little bit of tempo because now both teams are over the limit. And you won't find too many chances that 45-second clock is going to run out. Swindell with 9 points. Doesn't get it. And that was definitely interference there. Ivory Joe Hunter. Nice alley-oop. He gets the lay-in.
Ivory Joe on the alley-oop, making it look easy, and now again trying to create another turnover.
Foul is going to be called against Riggins.
And you can see the emotion going out there right now. Steve Smith pacing up and down the sideline. You see Riggins and Powell and Hunter trying to mix things up at half court and are called, we believe, with the grab.
Hankin misses a free throw. Moore with the rebound. Doesn't get it to go. But there's Moore again. He loses the ball. Foul is going to be called. And that's going to put the Penguins at the 10-foul limit. So now, regardless of the foul situation, the Tritons will get 2.
See Ivory Joe Hunter having some friendly words with the official over there. And I always wonder what the heck they're talking about. You never know. I wish we had a mic in these guys, but we don't. But it can't be too unpleasant.
Now wait a minute, Mike. You know what they're saying.
Oh, okay.
You know what they're saying in there. They're trying to barter, trade, deal, whatever they can get to get that ball back. Remember next time, ref, when we come down here, we want to talk about that last foul. Chris Morris sinks the first. Chris Moore's former high school coach is here tonight, Brett Tavani, and Brett thinks he can get away without me saying hello to him or saying, I saw you at the game, Brett. He's mistaken. We'll get him. Moore sinks the deuce.
I imagine Chris Moore's family is here on hand as well, so it's definitely a homecoming of sorts.
Riggins with a nice pass, but Hunter with the follow. Foul is called on Chris Moore on the shot attempt. That will send Harmon to the line for 2.
Riggins up top to Harmon, baseline right, fouled, and it was a late call. I mean, they didn't call it right away. And the officiating tonight, as far as the Penguins are concerned, a bit wishy-washy, to say the least.
Harmon now with 7 points, a chance to complete the deuce for Dominican. They trail by 12. And he doesn't get the roll this time. These free throws are hurting Dominican.
Indeed.
Hampton for three, doesn't get it. Powell with the rebound. Gets it up to Riggins. Taken away by Hampton. Riggins didn't like it. He thought Hampton was riding him side saddle. Nice block by Harmon. Halt's going to go in there and try to throw it back out, and he does.
San Diego now working in offense. Moore cutting down, and they're just going to a little pick and roll here. They're just trying to expose the perimeter. There he is.
Rainbow by Moore. Rebound coming down to Harmon. Here comes Ivory Joe. A nice takeaway by Halt. He's going up for the slam. Doesn't do it. Lays it in.
Oh, Halt with an easy pickoff. The Penguins, I mean, again, turnovers. What more can I say? Penguins, by the way, from the line, on the free throw line, is a team 68.1%. There's Hunter.
Ivory Joe sinks the three-pointer. Ivory Joe with 25.
Hunter with a nice shot from outside.
Swindell goes up, doesn't get it to go. Ball goes out of bounds to Dominican with a chance now to get this under a 10-point lead.
Now, if they can do that, they certainly have a shot at keeping and getting back into this ball game.
Matthews checks in for Dominican, replacing Brad Halt. Halt has been a little bit of a troublemaker for Dominican on the past couple of series with the steal and rebounding ferociously on the inside. Harmon for three. Doesn't get it. Munsell gets the scrap and can't get the layup. Hunter goes up. And it was fouled in the previous attempt. I believe it's Chris Moore. If it is, it's number 4.
See Powell with a loose ball and Swindell, and then Munsell gets it, and the tip shot again, and Moore comes over the back, and that'll send Mr. Riggins to the line. You know, Ernest's father was the former head women's basketball coach at San Diego State University, and so he's got some basketball ties in his family. Also want to mention that I know head coach Steve Smith is very proud of his assistant Mark McGree, and we never usually talk about assistants enough. At least I know I don't. And Mark, who played at Southern Oregon State College or University, certainly has a tremendous amount of basketball knowledge and brings a lot to this Dominican team. So kudos to him as well.
Riggins misses the first attempt. He's going to have to get this second one to go down. Misses 2. 6 free throws missed here in the last 8 attempts for Dominican. Very tough to come back when you don't hit those given opportunities. Powell with the steal. Riggins with a chance to go in. Gets it to go down. No foul called.
Unbelievable, the transition. Riggins takes it with a high right-handed roll way up in the air. I thought it was a 3-point play.
9-point lead now for UC San Diego as Dominican making a little run here. 7.5 minutes to go in the game.
Penguins putting a lot of pressure on defense, trying to get in the face. Here's Riggins with the note, the steal.
Foul is going to be called on Lucene as they get tangled up. Once Riggins was heading up court, he tried to put a little hook on him to keep him going downfield.
You see Riggins, Oliver Lucene does a nice job, gets in his face, and then Lucene puts a body block right in front of him, and Mr. Riggins finds himself to the line. And the key that you've been mentioning all night long is free throws. They've got to start hitting that little ball in the basket from the line. As we mentioned, Dominican 68.1% from the line. A decent free throw shooting team. San Diego 85.7. So there's quite a difference there.
Both teams are over the double limit situation. Now every foul is a given 2-point shot. Riggins with a chance to redeem himself from the previous free shooting situation he just experienced. Halfway home, he needs another.
A little redemption there for Mr. Riggins.
This one he can make the lead 7. And we got plenty of time left. Ogman gets the rebound. Is he turning inside? He tried to, and that ball was going around like a pinball.
Riggins comes up top, and here is Harmon again.
They waited too late to get that ball over the Harmon. He was wide open for at least 4 seconds. Missed opportunity. Spence got the rebound. He was fouled on the play. He'll go to the line to shoot an automatic 2. 8-point lead. 7:02 left to go in the contest. Like I mentioned, once you get into that automatic foul situation, automatic shooting from the free throw line in the penalty situation, this game will take a long time if the officials are calling a lot of taps or a lot of quick fouls. We may not even get the standard 24 seconds in the NBA time to get a play rolling.
Yeah, it can get a little long at times.
Spence gets 1 of 2. The lead is now 9. Hunter inside, nice pass. He tried to reverse it, didn't get it. And Powell gets fouled on the floor. Fouled by 34, Van Noy.
You see the ball loose. Powell does a good job just getting it up in the air. Van Noy looks like gets him with a reach. And Ronell finds himself there on the line once again. You talk about Ronell Powell, and he's just been an outstanding performer all season long. In fact, he was named the Athlete of the Week in the California NIA Division III Scheduling Conference, and he had 23 points, 6 rebounds, and 4 block shots and 2 steals against Menlo College for those honors.
Powell misses 2. Not helping out the cause here. They seem to be stuck on 73 as Borda fouls Matthews from behind. Matthews would go to the line. Kareem Matthews, a 6'4" sophomore from Culver City. On the slender side, weighing 150.
He certainly is, but he's a quick, elusive kind of ball player. Does a nice job bringing it up the floor, and he shoots about 54.2% from the line exactly, and that's why. But the key thing for the Penguins right now, I think they have to cut the lead down, obviously, as you talked about it. They also need to get this crowd into the ball game. I think that would really provide an extra bit of momentum and energy for this team. They need to start capitalizing on the transitions as well.
Back to a 10-point lead for UC San Diego. Ogman tried to go inside to Hunter. Powell gets it and goes up to the side and doesn't get it to fall. Hunter with the rebound. Finally gets the lay on the drop.
Hunter with the shot. Powell was fouled. Obviously, the officiating, to say the least, has been questionable. And I don't like to harp on that, but it has been ridiculous.
Trap by Dominican almost worked. Now UC San Diego wants to pull it out and take a little time off the clock. I don't think so. Every time you come up with a strategy for them, they change their mind. Swindell drives on Powell. Doesn't get it to go down. Rebound by Spence. He turns around. Doesn't get it. Powell comes down with the rebound for Dominican. Here comes Riggins. Pulls up for the 3. Doesn't get it to go. Ogman will be called for the foul over the back on Van Noy.
You know, I didn't like that shot selection. I thought they should have worked the ball around, set up. They've got it. They've got to minimize. Here it is. Riggins pulls up from 3. You know, you want to go for the sure till, and then Harmon goes up and fouls him. It looks like Van Noy from behind. You see Mr. Ogman there with his hands on his knees, taking some big, deep breaths way in the back court. Ophir, who is a streaky kind of ball player out of Vegas, he comes out. Maurice Munsell checks in for the Gwins.
Ogman now with 4 fouls. Chris Moore also has 4 for UC San Diego. And Moore is sitting on the bench at this time.
Brian Van Noy, the Rob Lowe lookalike here. I I noticed in their media guide, strikingly a tad bit of a resemblance to Mr. Lowe.
Lowe's not that tall.
He isn't.
Van Noy is 6'7".
And I don't know if he's going to like me comparing him to the likes of that actor, but nevertheless I did.
Penguins trail by 9, 84-75, 5.5 minutes to go. Here goes Riggins inside. Doesn't get it to fall. You know, the benefit for the Penguins is when they get fouled on shots, they've got to get them to go down because their free throw shooting has been not so good.
Foul over to Riggins. Riggins sees daylight, stays up in the air, throws it up, and again creates the two-shot foul. Now, this is where it becomes critical with 5 minutes, a little over 5 minutes. They've got to hit the three. They've got to hit these free throws, and they do. And Riggins isn't bad. He's 74.2% from the line. So you know they've got to be able to capitalize and to cut this lead down, and they can do it.
Riggins gets 1 of 2. The lead is 8. Seemed like that time Riggins was falling away. Free throws, you got to take your momentum forward.
San Diego working the perimeter right now, and a little screen. They set some picks and then screen away to the basket. That's what they're good at doing.
Nice move by Swindell. Doesn't get it to fall, but Riggins picks up the rebound for Dominican. Here's a chance to get that lead down. Porter tried to get it around the Powell and just threw it outside of Powell's reach. Powell had a man posted inside and was ready to go. Steve Smith is thinking, what can I do? What can I do?
I think for the most part the Penguins have played a pretty darn good basketball game, but San Diego's awfully tough from the outside and inside as well. A little are they going to call that a Munsell again?
Munsell picks up the foul. Munsell got himself caught with the hook on Holt, and the best thing for Munsell would have been to have complete body in front of Holt, making it tough for him to get around. Because once a guy gets around your side, the best thing to do is let him go. And then swat him from behind as he tries to get a shot. Surprise the heck out of him. Holt misses the first. 84-76, 4:33 to go in the contest. Quite a difference from 107-73.
Indeed, and quite a big difference because we're not playing this game in La Jolla, where I'd like to be on the beach.
Yes, I couldn't agree with you more. 76-85. Dominican trailing by 9. Hunter going inside, loses the ball. And the possession arrow favors Dominican. Break there for the Penguins.
One thing I'm noticing here with 4 minutes remaining in the game, a little 4 minutes and 19 seconds, Penguins playing with some intensity. These seniors want this game bad. They've never beaten this team, and as we talked about, there's never been a Penguin basketball team to beat a UC San Diego club, and they're playing with heart. It's very evident out there right now.
Powell inside to Hunter. He was sandwiched in by Holt and Lucene, of all people. Hunter will go to the line.
See Powell with a lob to Hunter. Hunter is fouled on the shot up.
And if Lucene hadn't come over, Hunter was wide open for a slam.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad foul because obviously the Penguins are having trouble on the line tonight. So I think it's you see, as we just alluded to.
It seems like Hunter's got that same problem as Riggins has had and a couple other fellows I've seen. They're falling away from the line with their upper body instead of going forward. Makes a difference because you go back, the ball tends to fall short. But he gets 1 of 2. Back to an 8-point lead.
I believe it's also called free throw-itis.
There is a tough thing to have happen to you. Three-pointer when you're trying to come back. Hanchen for San Diego. But Powell comes right back.
Forward to Powell off the low left block. Does a nice job. Powell has the easy layup type basket. And San Diego gets quickly back on the transition. Tom Marshall raising his hands up way in the air, talking to the referee, saying, what the heck is this? See Billy Borda coming out here. Tommy Guerin, the junior, comes back in.
Checking in also is Harmon. Sean Harmon replacing Maurice Munsell. 3:48 to go in the half, or the end of the game, excuse me. 88-79 as Lusain misses the first of two.
Well, I think that was a smart move getting Sean Harmon back into this game, because he has got to get into his rhythm right now if the Penguins want to get this thing back. Down by 10 here. They've got to look for him. You see Gary fouled from behind. Lusain called with a reach.
Lusain picks up his fourth personal. Now, this is a strategy that's working fairly well for Coach Marshall and his squad, but some of these key players have got 4 personals, and I'm sure he'd hate to lose those guys. If it came down that the Penguins got close, and with a minute left to go, to lose your big guns, and you're down, you're leading by 1, and they score and take the lead, that could present problems. Gehring sinks number 1.
Tommy Gehring. It's been evident all night long. The Penguins from the line just, quite frankly, horrible. But it's been that way all night long, and they're just not going to win a basketball game, but they are down by 9. And you see Harmon with a little pressure and a little foul in the back court as he puts his hands right into Swindell's chest.
Can't say the Penguins haven't had the opportunity from the line tonight. Just here in the second half alone, they've had many opportunities, and this score could be a lot closer. Going to the line is Andy Swindell. You see San Diego by 10. 3:37 to go in the ball game. Make it 11. 91-80. It's time for some threes by Dominican, but they've got to be structured properly.
There's Harmon. He was looking for Hunter on the baseline left. Throws it out of bounds, and turnovers and free throws seems to be the telling tale tonight. Penguins with some pressure on the backcourt there, Tucker.
Over and back. Violation's got to be called.
See the violation here. On over to Hankton. He goes over and back, and Penguins get a break here. As Gehring with a spin.
Gehring to Hunter. Nice reverse lay-in. Beautiful play by Hunter. Spence all alone.
Slam, jam, bam, baby on that one.
Dominican not getting back on defense. And Gehring says, I'm just going to put it up anyway. Why not? Try to get that three-point opportunity.
Gehring puts a move on and goes Swindell. Tries to go up over Swindell and is fouled. And not a bad move with 3 minutes remaining, because you want to get the easy baskets. However, the charity line tonight has not been a good situation for the Penguins. They've just been awful. You see head coach Steve Smith and Mark Legree talking about things, and what they're saying, we both know this, is that they're hoping at least that Mr. Gehring hits his free throws. There I go again.
That's a tough one. The foul was on Rodney Lusain. Lusain is fouled out. 7 points in the night. Tip in doesn't even go. Boy, hard luck for the Penguins. Spence can't get anywhere. Waiting way down court. All alone is Swindell. Breaking the Penguins' ice. They're going to have to get some threes up here shortly. 95-82 in favor of UC San Diego.
Bad lob pass. Riggins gets it and puts it up.
Foul is going to be called on Spence over the back. Number 4 on Spence.
See Mr. Riggins off the left side, puts it up, and actually looks like Hunter got the foul call, but Riggins put it up and Hunter with the follow-up. And Ivory Joe to the line.
We've got a timeout with 2.5 minutes to go here in the contest. 95 UC San Diego, 82 Dominican. Penguins will be trying to cut this lead down as quickly as possible here after some free throws. They really had a tough time here tonight in the second half.
Yeah, free throws have been the telling tale. You know, Tucker, interesting story as far as the Dominican Penguin fans are concerned. John Smith, who is Steve Smith's little brother, will be playing next year for the Penguin squad, a transfer from UNLV. So, I mean, had the Penguins had him on the team this year, I think it would have been a whole nother story, because anytime you can play for a Jerry Tarkanian team, you've got to be an awfully good basketball player. 1988, the PCAA championship ring that he wears around often. And next year, I'll tell you what, when he gets on that basketball court, watch out, because he is an outstanding one and can really hurt you. And it's very unfortunate that he has not had the opportunity to suit up this year. But Penguin fans in the future, John Smith is a name to reckon with.
Going to the line will be Ivory Joe Hunter. 13-point lead for UC San Diego. It's going to be tough to come back from.
Now let's see what they can do on the line this time, Tucker, because Ivory Joe has got to just relax and just set up softly. He does. It's about time. I can't recall them hitting a free throw in the last couple minutes here, but it seems like they've been on that line for the last 3-4 minutes. Barely seems like we've had any play.
32 points for Ivory Joe Hunter. The lead is 11. They got to be careful of anyone escaping down court. Hansen barely held on to it. Goes inside the halt. Now they want to play keep away. Dominican might as well just go ahead and foul, get them on the line, because they've got to have 2 shots anyway. Hunter tried to get the steal. Powell picks up the loose ball. Ball taken away by Hansen, but he loses it out of bounds.
Well, good effort by both young men, Hankton and Powell. Powell tried to go with the steal, took it down court. Hankton comes in from behind and takes it, but his momentum carried him out of bounds.
Harmon for 3. Hunter tried to get the rebound, couldn't control it. He had Halt all over his back. Surprised the foul wasn't called then. We're under 2 minutes here left to go in the contest.
Penguins getting into San Diego's face right now. Wide open is Hankton.
Can't get it to go. Both players go down. The rebound picked up and smacked away. Here we go with the mad scramble. Riggins to Harmon. Baseline jumper.
Great play from Riggins to Harmon. The jump shot wide open on the right side. And San Diego's going to take a timeout because they feel the heat coming.
9-point lead by San Diego. Dominican scrambling around here. Unfortunately for Harmon, he was inside the 3-point circle. 86-95 in favor of UC San Diego. Not much strategy to this, except the fact Dominicans got to keep fouling or steal away. And hopefully when San Diego goes to the line, the Tritons will miss one or miss both free throw opportunities, because both teams are over the double limits. So any foul here on out, basically, they're shooting 2.
Well, you touched it. The key word is hopefully, because the Penguins have got to hope for that. And, you know, another thing I want to bring up, I talked to the team earlier tonight, and Dominican They want to win this game so bad. Not only are they playing in front of a large crowd, but hey, we're in Viacom TV 36 is here, and they can't wait. They always love playing in front of the cameras and the lights, and they always want to put on a good show, and I think they're doing that tonight.
They certainly are, and they should be commended for great effort tonight. 1:30 to go. Holt has the ball taken away by Ivory Joe, but before that he was fouled by Harmon. And it's smart by Harmon to get up there and foul him quickly. Harmon only has 2 personals. Anybody with 4 at this point want to get away if it's an important ball player. But he fouled a guy who is pretty good from the line, shooting 70%. Holt has 6 points on the night.
I notice UC San Diego has that Kojak look tonight. Mad Max and the Thunderdome look. What's this all about, guys?
Well, don't you know that's a specialty look in college basketball? First there was a fade, then there was a block, then there was a chop. And I guarantee, as now they've missed 2 free throws, but Dominican gets the loose ball. Riggins behind the back of looping high. Harmon for 3.
Oh my, Sean Harmon from outside. Great play as Riggins bring it up, and Harmon was hot.
Foul is going to be called on Harmon. The lead is now 6. Dominican will be scrapping away. 1:11 left to go in the game.
You see the foul there. Hunter comes up at midcourt. The ball hits his chest, and I don't know what he got. I saw the replay, but I don't.
They called it on Harmon. Harmon on the replay hit the left hand of Hanshin, and actually looked like he got more ball than anything else. But I don't want to wear the stripes.
Well, and I hate to put you on the spot. You know what I think about the officiating tonight. What about you? I mean, do you think it's been a little questionable tonight?
Well, both teams are getting the benefit of physical play tonight, which to me favors UC San Diego because they're a stronger looking ball club. But the thing is, everyone's been on the floor. Powell gets the basket. We have a 5-point lead.
Powell with a great right block. Easy basket. Penguins doing a great job here. Trying to...
Hunter fouls race up. They almost had the steal. 48 seconds left to go. 96-91.
You see the trap over there. Hunter and Powell, they tried to block it and knock it out of bounds and strip it away, but to no avail. Now, key free throws for Mr. Ressa, because if he misses one of them, Penguins got a shot to get back, and of course if he misses both of them, the Penguins are sitting pretty. 2 threes to do it. Gets the shake, rattle, and roll on that one. And Ressa at 85.7% from the line.
Sinks the deuce, 98-91. Dominican has no time to waste. Munsell got away with a travel there. Complete air ball that time. Check the flight on that one. It took off. Foul is going to be called on Dominican. And I believe Hanshin will go to the line to shoot 2. We're down to 38 seconds.
Well, the fans here at Freitas Gymnasium certainly seen an entertaining game. And I'll tell you what, I have not seen a Dominican team, I can't recall a team playing this well against a UC San Diego team. And naturally, you know, UC San Diego, 3 or better 20-game win seasons. You know, I know all about them, and they have a great reputation as being a fine basketball team. But I really think Steve Smith and his coaching staff are really doing a terrific job in terms of the future.
99-91. Riggins motors up court. They've got to get that 3 up quickly. Munsell for 3.
Oh my. Munsell with a great 3-point shot. Penguins need a turnover here.
Foul is going to be called on Munsell, and that's going to send Chris Moore to the line. 99-94, 24 seconds. Munsell has just fouled out. He leaves the game with 7 points, 2 of them 3-point shots, and the last basket scoring for the Penguins.
Nice game for Madman Munsell, and Maurice just outstanding performance tonight. Really played quite well on defense, tried to take it down below in the paint, and was successful at times. But right now the Penguins could benefit from a couple missed Moore's free throws. If Moore's tough from the line though, 79.2%. And if he misses, the Penguins have got an opportunity. Goes in and out, so that's a big one now. Now if he misses this one, a couple threes could do it. And the Penguins could, you never know in the game of basketball what can happen.
Sinks one 6-point lead, 100-94. Hunter gets it up to Powell at half court. Riggins spending too much time dribbling, doesn't get it to go down. Should have been going for 3. Hunter with the steal, loses it. Harmon can't control it. We're going to the floor. And Chris Moore comes up with the loose ball.
Great hustle by the Penguins on the floor and up top. Boy, a lot of hustle, a lot of heart and determination. These 6 seniors want this game bad. And again, Mr. Moore to the line. The NCAA Division III All-American candidate who's certainly having a homecoming. And you see Sean Harmon, the senior, coming out.
Harmon just fouled out of the game.
Looks like Jeff Carter is in for the first time tonight. And Harmon, who really was tough from outside as far as the Penguins were concerned.
What a homecoming this has been for Chris Moore, though. He hasn't scored as many points. He wasn't that big of a factor point-wise against the Penguins as he was in the first meeting. But to come home and get a win really is icing on the cake, traveling up 600-some miles to see you folks.
Well, with all due respect to Mr. Moore, he's had a few big homecomings against the Penguins, and this is nothing new for him. So, nevertheless, they certainly played well tonight.
See, Gehring puts it up at the buzzer. Now that's the ball game. Final score: UC San Diego 102, Dominican 94. Mike, what a ball game. Closing comments real quickly.
Yeah, I thought UC San Diego naturally great. They have a little bit more talent, a little better outside game and inside game. Mr. Moore, what can you say? More. He's been terrific. To the Dominicans' credit, outstanding game. Hunter, Powell, and of course Harmon. And I just thought they played extremely well. The best they've ever played against UC San Diego. It was really, I think that the folks here at the gymnasium tonight really saw an outstanding basketball game. And I think both teams have to be commended. And I also want to commend you. It's been a pleasure working with you. This is only our second time, and I hope there'll be many more ball games that we can do together, because you're certainly a real pro, and I want to thank you very much for you and, of course, Gary Wasley, who does a great job with the crew.
Well, Mike, we appreciate all your help, and I've enjoyed your help here on the telecast as well. It's been a lot of fun here doing Dominican College basketball games. Thank you very much. Dominican College basketball has been produced and directed by Gary Wasley. Technical director, Kristen Otero. Character generator, Larry Chu. Videotape replay, Kerry Ross. Camera operators, Tracy Reese, Peter Campopiano, John Blousy, and Paul Campopiano. Audio, Doug Hunt. Once again, our final score: UC San Diego 102, Dominican College 94. For Mike McDowell, this is Tucker Rivers. Thank you very much for joining us. This has been a production of Ren 36 Sports. So long, everybody.